Hey, 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 good morning. Coming to you straight from the backyard today. You all listen for a little bit. We just hear the birds chirping. Don't even hear any froggies today. And Dusty's over there hunting for some bugs, his favorite thing. I always thought he was a bird hunting dog, but man, they love bugs as much as they love their birds. So, good morning, everybody. All right, so we got a good topic today. I'm super excited about it, and it's a big announcement. But first things first, if you're watching on the YouTubes, I have to make a weird eye thing for that. Go ahead and click subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know. I'm coming in a little early today because we're up and at 'em. So we thought, what? We might as well go out and enjoy the quiet before the trash man rolls by, or a barking dog, or the lawn mowing starts. So, alright, let's get started. I'm not even going to bury the headline. I'm just going to lead right with it. I'm going to be a published author. You know what? I'm so excited about that. You know why? Never knew I was going to be an author. I always tell the story that my sister is the writer and I'm the talker. Well, now before my next birthday in September, I'm going to be a published author, and I couldn't be more excited about that because I think it just sounds fun. Because you never know what life has in store for you. You never know what you're capable of doing. And you never know what story you're going to have that you need to tell the world. And the people need to know. I have learned so many things over the past year by people sharing different stories about different things that I was like, if you wouldn't have shared that, I wouldn't have known this now, and my life wouldn't have changed for the better because you shared your story. So, why I want to share my story is because God chose us to go on this infertility journey. He didn't choose somebody else, He chose us. It was a process. It was a long 7 years. And somewhere along my journey, there may be a nugget of information that somebody else needs to know because they got chose for this journey also. And even just that, as opposed to having the attitude and mindset of, this happened to me, change it to, I got to, or He chose me for this, makes it a much better, much better. We got chosen for this. That's probably not even great grammar. Like I told you, I'm not the writer, I'm the talker. But we got chose for this. Like God chose us for a 7-year infertility journey. Like He chose us. He chose us to be successful in our infertility journey. And I think people need to know that because everybody always needs an opportunity to hear a story of hope. They always do. And here's Dusty. And Dusty always needs an opportunity to say hi to everybody. Say hi, buddy. There you go. Okay, how about now? Everybody needs an opportunity for hope, and everybody needs to see the successes, and everybody needs to hear about the failures too. Like, stories need to know. I always said it. Like, I even started my chapter in my book was, I love stories. I just love them. I love stories of relationships of friends. I love stories how things are. I love how you see God's hand through people, how you see God's hand in things. I just love stories. We were at a birthday party this weekend, and I started telling a little bit of my mom passing away story. And I was like, Cindy, you got to write this one down too, because it just love the stories. Like, you never know. Like, people don't go through the same experiences as me, and they don't have the same experience as me, but they may need it in their toolbox down the road. And like, remember that one birthday party, that random stranger I sat next to? I don't even remember her name is, but she told me a story about her infertility journey, or she told me a story about when her mom passed away, or she told me a story about, here's her hospice experience. I have one little mosquito flying around. So it's all there for tools in your toolbox. And I heard a great quote yesterday about gathering like knowledge in your head, and I will find it and I will post it because it was terrific, and I wish I remember exactly what it was, but it was like the best way to do things was to get to read. Like, read things is the best way to collect even more stories and even more um, things to learn. Thank you, Marianne. All right. I'm going to talk about now a little bit about how my life would be now if I didn't get my infertility success. Well, I don't know the answer all the way to that question because I got to be a mom. I got to give birth to a child. So I guess if I didn't have my infertility success, I wouldn't be a mom through birth. I would have to see which direction we would have went after that, if we would have had an adoption story to share or a married couple with no children story to share. I don't know about that, but I do know that Danny and I both made and had a discussion with God and said, I think you don't want us to be parents, and we're finally okay with that. It was a separate conversation where we both surrendered and said, if you don't want us to be parents, that's fine. We finally are fine with that because it takes a long time to be fine with that. And we're finally fine with that. So I guess I would be talking to you as a person with no children. So my life would look very different, and it would also look very same because I would still not know a stranger everywhere I go. I would talk to everybody. I'd still love kids as fiercely as I do now. I just wouldn't have one of my own. If my story turned out that it was not as successful as it was. All right, let's see. I'm going to wrap it up before I start crying because who knows? You know, all of this is emotional. And that's the thing. I'm going to leave everybody with that. Somewhere along the line, well, I know where it is. We have a whole generation of people that told people not to cry. We have a whole generation of people that told people not to show emotion. Well, I'm here to tell you that the world needs more emotion. It needs people to be more truthful, and it needs people to be open and share their struggles. We talked about this the other day at Bible study. If you bring it keep it in the darkness, it's going to stay in the dark. But if you bring it to the light, it literally loses all its power. So something that you think that you can't share with somebody, you can. Bring it up all the way up to the light. And it's going to take a big old breath of sunshine and light in it, and it's going to just not be as bad as you think because it's not in the hiding and in the dark. So please don't worry about if you're sitting in your backyard and in tears because you're sharing a story. Please don't beat yourself up if something brings you to tears. Like, have the emotions. Let your kids see these emotions. Like, it is okay to have feelings. I don't know why we stopped having feelings. I mean, I'm sorry, we have sometimes happy. We're always afraid to show sadness and weakness, and we have no problem in the world right now showing anger. So let's bring back a little more of the happiness and a lot more of sharing the sadness, because we're supposed to do community together. We're supposed to be in community together, and it helps lighten the load. You know, it really is that many hands make light work. Like, share it. Share with your friends. Let them know what's happening. So that's all for today. I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow. Love you, and I will see you tomorrow, and we'll talk about something else. Can't wait to see what it's going to be. Bye.